on the women. I've had nothing. You have not given any breakdown, similar breakdown that you have given on women. I have not seen it on the youth. And you know, right now, one of the biggest problems we have in this country is a youth unemployment. And these are some of the channels where youth can be useful in the economic activities. So can the CS give a similar breakdown on the efforts made towards the youth in this by KIE? Thank you.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the first one, where I said that the majority of borrowers are women, 48%, as you are aware, the Hustler Funds is a digital platform-operated systems, and these are the figures we get on daily basis. Mr. Speaker, if I was to bring a detailed list of the 48%, maybe you will not be able to carry it, because this is a digital system. However, I'm very much willing if the member can conduct me so that I take her through how we get these figures. And we have Safaricom as a service provider that gives us this information on daily basis. So if it means printing it to prove that...
Honorable CS, is this information contained in the ministry's website?
Yeah, it is.
Then
it is
contained
in the website. It is even on my phone now. It's information that I can pass it to her, because this is the information we get on daily basis. So I can avail that, and I can even put you to be part of the WhatsApp so that you can get it on daily, or you can get it on daily basis. Secondly, on the issue of the youth, that is, I think, is another question. The question asked by Honorable Korir was actually on women. So if she needs details about the youth, I just mentioned the youth, by the way, to show that we are dealing with all vulnerable groups. But if she needs a detailed response on the youth, that is now another question, which I can deal with later, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable John Yutu. Honorable Onyonka. Honorable Oroba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a supplementary question on the issue of availability of funds to youth and women. And in your response, Waziri, you have said that in addition, the Uwezo Fund has rolled out a Wezesha Kazi Maju product to support the labor mobility, where you're giving loans of up to 200,000 with 0 interest rate and 8% management fee. My question would be, how many people have successfully gotten these 200,000 loans? And how many of those who have been given the 200,000 are actually abroad working as we speak?
Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to welcome the expert to the Senate. He has talked about two initiatives. He has talked about the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, NYOTA, and the Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation Project, KJET. Mr. Speaker, the CS indicates that they are being rolled out this financial year. Whereas Kenyans are aware of the Hustler Fund, the pros and cons, and the Uwezo Fund, KJET and NYOTA are not very well known amongst Kenyans. Can the CS confirm whether it is possible to use these honorable senators as promoters and mobilizers for KJET and NYOTA? Because they aim at empowering and providing grants to young people at the grassroots. Now, can the CS also confirm that they will not also be using the networks of CDF, and networks of county governments which already have their funds. These senators are available, they are ready, they have networks across all polling stations in their jurisdictions. The CS could consider using the members of this House to promote and to roll out and to mobilize these two grants. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Sifuna. And Honorable Senators, you shall refer the CS as the Honorable CS and not by any other name.
I don't know why that directive is being given immediately. I take the mic, but I'll take it in stride. Honorable Speaker, you know, in his other life, the Cabinet Secretary and I used to agree on how this hustler fund needs to be treated. As of September of 2024, data from that ministry indicates that the default rate was up to 58%. That is about 14 out of the 24 million people who are borrowing on that platform are classified as defaulters. I want the Honorable CS, because in his other life he was very clear that we need to hold the President to his promise that this hustler fund was supposed to be a grant and not a loan, and that therefore the people who borrowed this money need not pay that money back. That was the position we held together with the CS. I want him to confirm, Honorable Speaker, what plans are there to make sure that the people who are listed as defaulters of this particular hustler fund are made to pay back this money, now that he has taken a diametrically opposite position that this money needs to be paid back. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I want to welcome the Cabinet Secretary to the Senate and be proud that if this is the kind of leaders from Mulembe Nation, led by Oparanya and Kalwale, then the Mulembe Nation is in safe hands. So, Speaker, my only... Mr. Speaker, I really want to ask from my brother CS, in this Hustler Fund package, what should be the aspect in ensuring that upcoming cooperative societies like Kipsiele Cooperative Societies, Cheptarit Women Star, Kapsaos Coffee Cooperative, Kapkulumben Cooperative Society, Lesos Farmers Cooperative Society, and Kabunyeria Farmers Cooperative Society, among others in Nandi County, is there a specific package that the Hustler Fund can give to these cooperative societies so that, Mr. Speaker, it can jumpstart and ensure that we don't only capture societies and youth groups and women groups in Nairobi, but also the people from the, what we call under the President's agenda of bottom-up economic model, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask the CS not to fear Sifuna. Sifuna was told off by Raila over the weekend, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senator Fernandez. Honorable Senator Fernandez, you are out of order. Okay? And I'll give you your first question for the day. Senator for Kericho, the majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question with regards to the financial inclusion product, which the Cabinet Secretary responded to in this first part of the question, otherwise known as the Hustler Fund. And for the record, to the best of my knowledge, the President never promised a grant. The people, please, the people, Speaker.
Senator Fernandez. Senator Fernandez. Senator Fernandez, you're out of order. And you proceed in that manner, I will have to ask you to leave the House. Proceed, the majority leader.
Thank you. The people who promised 6,000 one-off as a grant, Mr. Speaker, are known. Hustler Fund, Mr. Speaker, and the minister is here, will confirm to us from the get-go, everybody who borrowed knew that the scheme is that you borrow, pay, you build a credit history, and are able to grow your limit. The question that I have for the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, is if we can have a record, you can provide it now or later, of what is the approximate number of Kenyans that borrow on a daily basis currently, Mr. Speaker, and that are active on this platform, so that we are able to know how they are able to achieve this figure of 70 billion. Mr. Speaker, that's not a small amount. In fact, there are only 2 or 3 banks in this country that can lend out such a similar amount out there. Therefore, it will be important for this House to know how many ordinary citizens borrow and pay on a daily basis from the Cabinet Secretary. I thank you for this chance.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I welcome the CS and our senior brother once more. My question is, Honorable Speaker, to the CS, what percentage of the funds lent, especially of the Hustler Fund, has become bad debt? And Honorable CS, now that we are in broad-based, is it possible that you can pay the 6,000 shillings that was promised to Kenyans as in our manifesto? Thank you.
Senator Miraj. Senator Miraj. Order, honorable senators. Senator Miraj, proceed.
Asante mstahiki Spika, na mimi nimkaribishe waziri na nimpongeze kwa kufika kwa wakati. Swali langu kwake ni kwamba kuna jinamizi jipya limechipuka katika taifa letu la Kenya, jinamizi la watoto wetu kuweza kucheza kamari. Na kuna ushahidi ya kwamba pesa nyingi zinazochukuliwa katika mifuko hii ya hazina za fedha inaenda kutumika katika hali ambazo sizo za malengo ya hazina hizi za fedha. Je, kuna mikakati gani katika wizara yetu kuhakikisha kwamba tunafuatilia utekelezaji wa ruwaza wa hazina hizi za pesa? Nikimaanisha kuna mikakati gani ya kuhakikisha kwamba pesa zinazochukuliwa zinafanywa biashara na zinastawisha vipi uchumi wa serikali kama ilivyokuwa malengo ya rais wetu wakati alipokuwa anataka kuweka hazina hii ya fedha, ili tuone kwamba kuna sera ya kuona kwamba anayechukua hizi fedha anaenda kuyafanyia yale malengo ambayo anaombea na haendi kutumia kwa mihadarati na hata kujiingiza katika jinamizi la kamare. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question is also on the same ASLA fund, and because the CS in charge now is an expert from ODM, has the ministry done a legal impact assessment of the ASLA fund, Mr. Speaker? Because it seems to me that we don't know where this ASLA fund is being invested, and we don't know who are borrowing this ASLA fund. Is there even intention by the ministry to publish a proper impact assessment of areas that this money has gone, which people have borrowed, and to what extent have they transformed their business, Mr. Speaker? Because, Mr. Speaker, where I come from, one of the people I hoped would have borrowed from this FASLA fund, Mr. Speaker, is the border industry, which we are given to be about 1.5 million people in our borders today, Mr. Speaker. But the border industry is still going to very expensive solutions in terms of people who are in the marketplace, giving them, Mr. Speaker, these loans at almost 60%, Mr. Speaker. If you look at what the border are getting, even in terms of just the deposit that they're given to give to these funds like What to Credit, Mogo, Progressive, they have to give sometimes up to 60,000, Mr. Speaker. And then within 3 years, they try to pay these funds. The border is depleted, is depreciated, but then they don't have even the border itself, Mr. Speaker. So who are these people borrowing from ASLA fund? Who are these ASLAs? Can the minister table to us at the right time an impact assessment that is legally done as an expert that he is from ODM to show the country what has happened in that ASLA fund?
Senator Mgatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In your response, Waziri, when you are asked about how you have gone out of your way to explain the opportunities that exist for women by the Honorable Joyce Korir, especially in remote and underprivileged areas. You said that you have taken a multi-sectoral approach, and you have gone to other places, and you gave the example of Marsabit and Kakamega. Now, in this Senate, we have 47 counties, Mr. Speaker. Now, 2 out of 47 is 4.25%. The question I wanted to ask you as a follow-up is, when are you coming to Tana River? When are you going to the rest of the other counties? Which program, when are you rolling out this program so that we can host you in our various counties to explain these opportunities to the other people? You did not tell us that program. It just ended that you've given Marsabit and Kakamega. We want to hear when you will be coming to the rest of the counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, before I answer the supplementary questions, I think members are very much interested in Hustler Fund. And I want to commit myself, Mr. Speaker, that you can set aside time that I can come and meet the members out of the normal session so that we are able to explain in detail how Hustler Fund is working and how it can help the members, also the members, your members from your constituencies who helped you to come to this house. So if you will give me that opportunity, I will avail myself, Mr. Speaker, to do that. But on the issue of labor mobility, we are working with the Ministry of Labor, and I saw the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Labor was here. We are working, and our role is actually to provide finances. So the entire selection, the entire identification of the opportunities that are there overseas is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. So as soon as they identify those particular people, they just forward a list with the documents, necessary documents, to prove that these people actually have got a job overseas, and they have the necessary documentation to travel, and they have a letters of appointment. Then we facilitate them. So far, we have facilitated 200.
Order, honorable senators. May we hear the honorable CS in total silence?
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
268 Kenyans.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi, I thought you're the one who asked these questions. Proceed, honorable CS.
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268, but this, to know where they have gone, if they have not gone, that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. My role is just to get a list with the necessary documents from the Ministry of Labor, and then we facilitate the financing. And my responsibility ends there. To know who went, who never went, where they are going, that information can be availed from the Ministry of Labor. On the issue of Nyota and KJET, honorable members, this is a very important initiative that you as members of parliament, you should get aware of, because this is a joint initiative with the Kenya government, with the World Bank, and it involves about 33 billion Kenya shillings. Already sensitization program is going on. Unfortunately, the sensitization program is going on with the members of the National Assembly because the selection of the beneficiaries is based on wards. So they thought that members of parliament would be the best ones with the members of the county assemblies, so that these people are sensitized to apply, and you have to apply on your phone. It's a digital application process. So unfortunately, the members of National Assembly have been sensitized, they are aware of it, and unfortunately the Senate have not been properly included. And I want also to commit myself that you are members of Parliament, so you must be aware of what is happening. And I also commit myself that given opportunity, because this is a very important initiative, I'm ready to come and actually sensitize you or take you through the program. On the issues raised by my Secretary General, Mrs. Funa, I don't remember. I know we were in the same boat that time. Yeah, but I never heard of this money being a grant. That was the truth. I only was in the same boat when we were saying that this money should not be paid. But now I'm in a different boat. I'm saying that Kenyans who have borrowed this money should pay. Because I feel that this money is a good initiative that will help many Kenyans. Unfortunately, when such initiatives come up after an election, members of the public think that they are being rewarded. And that's why we had so many defaulters when the fund started. But let me assure members of Parliament who are here that we are working on a system where we will ensure that this amount is recovered so that more Kenyans benefit from this money. But please note that out of the 20 million Kenyans that started borrowing from this fund, 2 million of them have proved to be good borrowers. And these good borrowers, we have introduced a bridging loan. These are the people who have been given a good limit, a better limit for them to borrow up to 150,000. So out of the 20 million, 2 million have been promoted to what we call a bridging loan, so they can be able to access this fund at 150,000. And let me tell you that this fund is working very well. It is helping many Kenyans despite the initial problems that we had. On the issue of Hustler Fund helping cooperative, Hustler Fund is a different product. It's a digital, we use a digital platform to access, use your phone. You do not interact with any individual. So it will be difficult to take that particular fund again, divert it to cooperatives. However, in the Cooperative Bill 2024 that is before the Senate, there is a provision of creating a cooperative development fund. And it is through that fund that now, based on how you will pass it here, that is the fund that we will use to support cooperative specifically. And it will be a levy collected from cooperatives, also government allocation to that fund, so that now we can scale up the operations of most cooperatives, especially those in the critical value chain. The issue of providing records, I've clearly said here, providing records of Hustler Fund. I've clearly said here, Hustler Fund is a digital platform facility. If you want a printout, I can do it. But if you go to our website, it will show you how it is operated. But I have committed myself that Hustler Fund is a critical fund that I think it helps a lot of Kenyans, that I will come here and explain to members so that they know how this fund is working. So I know there are bad debts. I've admitted myself that there are bad debts, and we're working to see how that can be recovered. But one member said that I paid the 6,000. 6,000 was a promise by ASMEO, and as you know, ASMEO lost the election, so maybe you organize yourself so that if ASMEO comes into power, if they have a chance of coming into power, then they can be able to pay for the 6,000. To pay for the 6,000 shillings. But we are in the Kenya Kwanza government. They have their own priorities, and since we are now under the broad-based, we are now working towards those agenda of theirs. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of how us knowing how these funds are used, because one member of Parliament here mentioned the issue of Kamari. With the Hustler Fund, it will be difficult for us as a ministry to follow what the individual use that money. But other funds like Kenya Industrial Estates, KIE, those ones we are able to follow, we are able to monitor and make respective reports, because this is targeted money to make sure that it is given to entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs use it properly, they pay back with interest of 8%, is a specific period, and is supposed to help the entrepreneurs to grow, to create more employment. So that will be easier to monitor, and that's what we do. Weather Fund, we do the same, but Hustler Fund, it will be difficult. On the question of Eddie, about the legal impact, let me assure you that we are in the process of doing that. We have commissioned a consultant to help us come up with the impact assessment of Hustler Fund. But I want to assure you that Hustler Fund is operated by two private service providers. That is Safaricom and Kenya Commercial Bank. Kenya Commercial Bank is the custodian of funds, but the operation is carried out by Safaricom. So we are in the process of carrying out an impact assessment, and I'm hopeful that in the near future we will give you a report on that. On the last one raised by my friend Mungatana, I just gave Kakamega as one example that where we were 2 weeks ago. Next Friday we are going to Marsabit, and we have a whole program involving 47 counties. I will let you know when we are coming to Tana River, and I will appreciate if you are around so that we are able to speak one language.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary. I think we have come to the end of the session with the Cabinet Secretary. Senator Dulo, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I had requested to ask questions from the beginning. Up to now, I was not given an opportunity. And I came to consult the previous speaker. Please allow me to ask one question on the county government.
Senator Dulo, I have not been informed that you and Senator Nyonko had requested, but if you're talking about your name appearing on the schedule, there were several senators before you. And now, because of time, we had actually set a time to finish with the CS at 11. So if we could please allow... Okay, Senator Dulo and Senator Nyonka, I will allow you.
I wanted to ask a question on trade budget within the counties. Mr. Speaker, counties normally budget for trade.
more specifically for women empowerment, youth empowerment, and PWD's empowerment. Unfortunately, most of the counties, they have not come up with a legal framework to utilize that particular budget. At the end of the financial year, that budget is reallocated to other activities when our women, our youth, and PWDs are suffering within those counties. I wanted to ask you, CS, are you in touch with the county governments to ensure that that budget is utilized properly to help our people on the ground? I thank you.
Senator Onyonka, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. CS, I would like to say I'm happy to see you in this House. My question is, your government, which you proudly appreciated today, KK, has said that all the funds were going to be collapsed so that we could have either one or two funds which will be run through either the outfit that you've been talking about or any other. Have you come up with strategies on how you're going to collapse all the funds that exist in our republic? Because we believe that many of those funds are duplicating and being misused and confusing, so that for the public to benefit as much as they're supposed to benefit. That was the question, Mr. Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, the first question, supplementary question about county governments budgeting for trade. Unfortunately, as a CS, I have no control over the budget of the county governments. But what we do as a national government, in most of these sensitization programs, we involve the official of the counties to know what we are doing at the national level, so that they can also be part of the system. And there will be something for them to learn, as you know very well that most of these counties have not matured enough, so they have something to learn from the national government. On the issue raised by Honorable Nyonga, already there is a recommendation that has been passed already by the cabinet that all these funds, the initiative is the same, whether it is involving women, whether it is involving the youth, whether it's involving people living with disability, the aim is the same. So it has been already passed that these funds be put together under Biashara Fund, and the process is still going on, and it will come before you for approval. But the process is going on, stakeholders are being consulted, how this can happen, and it will end up in this House.
Thank you very much, CS. Thank you for coming today and answering the questions. We want to wish you all the best, and just to request that since you've seen how much interest there is in your ministry, that you try to keep your office open and engage the senators continuously, Bwana CS. But otherwise, we will give you leave, and thank you very much for appearing.
Thank you.
Honorable Senators, we're waiting for the CS Health so that we can proceed with the question time. mean, from honorable senators, we seem to have a problem with the CS. I'm being informed that the CS had scheduled another meeting with the committee at the National Assembly at the same time with the plenary here. So the delay is because he's still stuck at the National Assembly. It's unfortunate, and I think it borders on contempt. Yes, Senator Kalwale.
Do you recheck the information that you have just given the House? While seated where I am, Mr. Speaker, I've been speaking to the Minister of Health, the Honorable Duale. I've also talked to Muriuki, her PS. They have both confirmed to me that they are on the way. They are coming for this session and not in the National Assembly. By the time I was talking to them, they were in the office. It must be around 8 to 15 minutes ago. I've been talking to them now. So can you recheck that? It is inconceivable that the minister would go to the National Assembly when he has confirmed that he's coming here this morning, up to and including the conversation that I'm referring to, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Kalwale, that is the impression that we also had, that the CS was here and he would be appearing. But the clerks have checked and the Sergeant at Arms has checked. He is not at the waiting area where he's supposed to be. And that's why we have this delay. Senator Enoch, yes, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, it's getting worse. It's really getting worse. Last week, we had a similar situation with CS Treasury when he communicated, when we were already assembled, that was going to be attending. Now, it's even worse. We are waiting for him, the CS Health. The last minute, he's supposed to be on his way here, but then it's suddenly he is attending another committee of the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, these games must come to an end. These games really must come to an end, Mr. Speaker. The CS must be brought to this House to respond to the questions that members have asked. If he has to make a choice between going to the National Assembly and coming to the Senate, health is a devolved function. He will have to come here and then make arrangements to meet members of the lower house at another time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker,
proceed, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, why is the majority leader heckling? Because you have given me the mic, I think you should allow me to say what I wanted to say. I promise to be... Honorable Speaker, fortunately for the majority leader, I was directed by my party leader to be nicer. And I'm going to try my best. So I am not going to respond to his heckling today because I have been put on a regime where waliniambia nitoe pilipili moja. It's okay, Honorable Speaker. In the morning, I was called by the MCA Fongara, the Honorable Chege Mwaura, and he wanted my assistance with these people there who are being evicted in this rain by the Nairobi County government alleging rent arrears. I told the MCA, and unfortunately or fortunately, he had put me on speaker with the people, that I could not go to Ngara because I have a question here pending for the Cabinet Secretary for Health. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I have looked at the question that I was supposed to ask and the response that came from the ministry. There is specific documentation that he has said that I needed to supply. This is regarding the death of a young man who was a student at Kibera Secondary. Honorable Speaker, this is regarding compensation. So I came here purposely so that I can hand these documents to the CS. I hope he's the one walking in. I hope he's the one walking in. Yeah, so if he has arrived, then we need to proceed. But these games, Waziri, they must come to an end. Because just a minute. Honorable Speaker, please allow us to speak, Majority Leader. I am on the floor. Why are you heckling us? Why are you heckling us? This is not your house. Leader, this is not your house.
Majority
it is the house
Leader.
For all of us.
Majority
and the
Leader.
information that we have comes from the Speaker.
Majority
Honorable Cheriot,
Leader.
You can't heckle us all the time. Can
Majority
you throw him
Leader.
out? Honorable
Majority
Speaker.
Leader. Order. Order.
Order. No,
Order.
Honorable Speaker,
Order.
this is unacceptable.
Order, Senator.
Even if I was asked to be nicer, I
Order,
will not
Senator.
allow this provocation to continue.
You started heckling. Okay, then let's stop it at there. Let him finish and listen to him in silence. Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, how is it in order for somebody who's younger than me to call himself my elder? We in which society? And in this particular house, Honorable Speaker, there is nothing like seniority coming from how old you are. It is what is in your brain. It is what is in your head. So you can't come here heckling and telling us you are senior to us, Honorable Cheriot. You are just lucky that I have been directed to be nice. Otherwise, you would have seen the full wrath of Edwin Sifuna. Honorable Speaker, I want these demons who have been sent to tempt me to break the directive by my party leader to depart from me. Leave me alone. Honorable Speaker, therefore, now that I have seen the CS, I will take my seat because it was all very critical. But as Senator Wambua has said, the communication to this house
He was on the floor of the House.
Yeah,
Can you
please.
allow him to finish? Senator
Can you throw
Cheriot.
this guy out? Is
Senator
Senator
Cheriot.
Cheriot above the law? Is Senator Cheriot above the law, Honorable Speaker?
Order, Senators.
He can't heckle like this.
Order,
He can't heckle
order,
like
Senators.
This. He can't heckle like this.
Order, Senators. Order. He's addressing his issue now. Can we allow him to finish? Let's listen to the Senator in silence. Senator Sifuna, just conclude.
Honorable Speaker, it is very unfair. If it was Senator Sifuna behaving like this heckler from Kericho, I would have been thrown out by now. I would have been thrown out